Is that a trick question? This man was a bona fide scrub. Bona fide scrub.
This dude, I believe he's a bona fide superstar right now.
Right. Oh, well, of course, it's all about winning, baby.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Summer League Breakdown. On today's episode, we're going to be going through the game of the number 2 overall pick, Jalen Green. Now, firstly, for Houston fans, of course, a big season last year. You made the trade with James Harden, and to be honest, at the time, if I was going to put it the nicest way possible, I was heavily critical of the James Harden trade and what you actually got back in return. I mean, the two best players in the deal from a Brooklyn perspective were Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen, and you guys ended up with neither of them. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, it was a terrible trade. But on the positive side, everything you've done since then, I think, has been absolutely fantastic. The draft you just had, the way you've pivoted from the James Harden era into this rebuilding era has been really quick, smart, and absolutely fantastic by the front office. So to get Jalen Green, who we're going to speak about here, to get Şengün and Garuba and Josh Christopher was really good in Summer League as well. To get those guys in, they all look like big parts of your future. So a very exciting time to be a Houston fan. Anyway, let's get on to the breakdown of Jalen Green's game. We're going to go back to one of the earliest Summer League games where he actually went up against the number 1 overall pick in Cade Cunningham. It really demonstrates how Jalen Green can make something out of nothing, really, in a pretty unadventurous situation from a play standpoint for the Houston Rockets. And I think going forward into the NBA, this is a kind of play that you'll probably see late in the shot clock when there's nothing else happening offensively for the Rockets. They can kind of give a little dribble handoff and let Jalen Green go to work. So if you watch it in full here, little screen, not much of a screen, raises up and knocks it down. Now if we look at it slow motion, again, little dribble handoff, a very slight screen, but doesn't really impact Killian Hayes at all. Just means that Killian Hayes gets onto his hip. Now, the other thing here is that as we look at him raise into his jumper, you're not necessarily going to face this kind of poor contesting in the NBA, I guess. So this is Pickett here, number 54 for the Detroit Pistons. His arms, I know it's a bit difficult to see, his arms are almost flatlined there towards his chest, and his feet are on the ground. At an NBA level, you might see a better defender actually jump to contest, for starters, and also have his arms raised closer to the trajectory of the ball, if that makes sense. So it's not a great contest from Pickett whatsoever. Killian's on his hip. There's not much he can do there, but Jalen Green raises up, and as we can see, smooth-looking jumper and drains it. But as I said before, this is a play that Houston can go to at the end of a shot clock when there's nothing much else happening, and Jalen Green can kind of make something out of nothing. I wanted to see from Jalen Green during this Summer League because he was known as a natural scorer, we understand that, but I wanted to see the aggressiveness, obviously, and also how can he play off the ball? What happens once he gives the ball up? Can he move off ball? Can he cut sufficiently? So in this game, he was really efficient, and part of that was just what he did off the ball, and then obviously the aggressiveness, being able to get to the rim and draw fouls as well. If we watch this play, he's handling the ball here, again, a slight screen, gets himself kind of caught up, then gets the dribble handoff back off, and just controls himself really nicely within traffic. So what I like about this play is the control. He seems a bit kind of out of it a couple of times, so there he has to pick up his handle. He doesn't force a pass wherever. He just takes a second, finds the right feed, and then moves again without the ball. And really works hard. If we go back to it, he kind of almost pushes off a little bit off his defender. He works really hard to create enough space to go by his defender, gets the handoff, and then we can see here, there's a defender behind him, and then there's 3 closing in on him. And there's a couple of times here, if you look here, it looks like he's starting to get a little bit out of control potentially, but just does a really good job of a slight Euro step and just finding his way through traffic, just really controlling and contorting his body correctly to find enough balance and then lay it in. I thought it was a really impressive play for someone that I was really looking forward to seeing how he can play off the ball and what happens in a possession when he gives the ball up and how he moves post that. Alright, final play that we'll go through here. Kind of an important one because we've got the number 1 overall pick in Cade Cunningham actually defending Jalen Green on this possession. And for me, the big thing about this play is just the change in speed that he can produce within a very short period of time. It's kind of 0 to 100 real quick. If we watch the possession in full here. Just turns the corner and bang, he's away. Cade's got no other choice but to grab him and send him to the line. If we pause it here, he's just dribbling across the lane, just setting up the offense. There's nothing much necessarily going on here. Cade, slight screen, but nothing much, but he's still not in a great spot. This defender here can come across depending on that change of speed, I guess, that Jalen Green produces, and he's just too quick. He's too quick. He just one step and he's away. Cade tries to catch up, but he just gets by Cade. This defender's going nowhere. Killian Hayes tries to come across and almost strip him in this possession, but he doesn't get across, and he just gets to the rim too easily. Cade's got no other choice but to foul him, send him to the line. That was really impressive for me, just the way he was able to turn the corner there and bang straight to the rim. I watched this game in full live, and the efficiency that Jalen Green produced in this game, he had 25 points on 11 shots. Absolutely incredible. For me, he outplayed Cade Cunningham in this game. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to take Jalen Green over Cade Cunningham going forward into the NBA, but from an individual standpoint, I thought efficiency-wise, he just had the better of Cade Cunningham, and I mean from a team standpoint as well, the Rockets won by 20 points. So this was a super impressive, I think the most impressive game for Jalen Green, and obviously it was against the number 1 overall pick in Cade Cunningham. There you have it, guys. A bit more of an in-depth analysis into the game of Jalen Green and that fantastic performance he put up against the Pistons in the NBA Summer League. I think from next season moving forward, I think he's probably going to be the most natural scorer out of this draft class. I can easily see him average 20 points a game for the Rockets next season. And because of that, given that, he's probably my lead at the moment in terms of Rookie of the Year predictions. I just think that, as I said, the most natural scorer, gifted scorer from all 3 levels, the aggressiveness to get to the rim, draw fouls and go to the line. I think he can be a really high-level NBA player to begin. It's just going to be interesting to see how the Rockets navigate that rotation, obviously, with Kevin Porter Jr. coming in late last season, with John Wall there as well. It's just going to be fascinating to see what happens and if he's going to be given enough opportunity early on to potentially take those Rookie of the Year honors. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe below and also follow us on all of our social media channels. If you want to hear more about Jalen Green and the rest of the draft class, then go and check out our latest podcast on the NBA Summer League. I'll leave a link in the description.